Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Discuss the latest news, just fans giving their views. This channel is red. They see the bar and raise it, plus they rep for the ladies. Trust it's red. Female voices in football. Red. If you want to talk up, it's a red channel for me and you. Subscribe and tune in to the Ladies in Red.
Hi guys, welcome back to Ladies in Red. Apologies, I know we are a few minutes late and obviously we apologise for that, but we're here and that's the important thing. Firstly, as you can see, Zeo is joining me yet again. Zeo, thank you so much for joining me and I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm doing blessed. Thanks for having me again.
Always a pleasure, always a pleasure. International break is now over with, so we can start to talk about United again. You know what? You know when we get so stressed watching United, but when it's international break, I just cannot wait for United to come back on. It's just one of the things, I just hate the international break for many reasons. And we're going to get straight into it. One of the reasons is obviously you don't want key players to get injured. Varane, obviously, he's won a trophy, but picking up an injury, I mean, you just don't want to see that, do you? I'm absolutely gutted. He's going to be out for a few weeks. I believe it's his groin. Zio, what's your thoughts on that?
Absolutely devastating. Like, I feel like he's kind of hit the ground running at United. We already feel like we're depending on him, and to have him injured now, it's devastating. Obviously, we've got other players that are quality that should be able to step in, hopefully temporarily, and play well. But yeah, it's our main man, isn't it? And it's a bit sad, but oh well. Like, life moves on, and hopefully the other players step in and do a job for us and do well.
It's one of them. Like you say, we've got a squad for a reason.
She's not KG. She's not KG.
I apologise for the lateness. I apologise, Lawbreaker, but thank you for sticking with me. And we've Shivan, James, Lawbreaker I've just mentioned, Gaz as well. Hope you're good. He asked if I'm Ollie out. I'm not Ollie out, but we'll talk about Ollie in a bit anyway. Me and Hope, I pronounced that right. Good evening to you as well. Curlers, big up to you. Don't forget Phil Jones. I will mention Phil Jones. What about this squad on that? Oliver Villa, hope you're doing well. And obviously, yeah, prayers to David Brooks, and hopefully he has a full recovery. Horrible to hear that. I don't know if you've heard it today, but obviously, yeah, fingers crossed, and obviously prayers to him. Just horrible news, really, isn't it? But we've got to stay positive for him, and hopefully he'll be back playing sooner rather than later. And thank you for that, guys. I appreciate it. Big up to Wesley as well. Hope you're good. Big up to Andrew. Niall, hope you're good as well. Shabir says Varane and Maguire. It's great to add in, obviously, Varane is out and we're good to debate that, but also Maguire being out as well. That means there is a possibility of having a Boy Lindelof, again, centre-back partnership against Leicester. What's your thoughts on that, Zio? Are you feeling confident going into that? Obviously, someone did mention Phil Jones as well. Phil Jones could creep into that, but you would think it would be Boy and Lindelof who are the options.
How long's Maguire injured for?
A few weeks as well, I believe another few weeks at least. So
I feel like we're in dangerous territory now because Bailly will probably get injured as well. So yeah, it's very dangerous territory now. Like, how long's Bailly gonna last, or is he gonna throw himself into a tackle and get sent off, and then he's like, do you get what I mean? Like, he's that type of player. So it's a bit dangerous territory now, and it's very worrying. But at the same time, they are good players, Bailly and Lindelof, and if both of them play to the best of their ability, I feel like we won't concede that many goals because Bailly's a great stopper and Lindelof is an intelligent defender. So hopefully, just fingers crossed. The more thing I'm worried about is that Ollie's going to think that's it. Fred's out as well. Whoa, that just threw everything away. I was going to say then.
Don't tell me you're relying on Fred.
I was going to say he's definitely going to be Fred all the way now because he's going to think we need to cover.
Yeah.
But Fred's out, so it's going to be a bit interesting what he's actually going to do.
Matic's coming in there
every game for the next month or so.
Yeah, true. It's interesting one, isn't it? Maybe this is where Ollie has no choice but to roll the dice. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Donny at centre back. That's what we'll see. No, but to be fair, obviously you mentioned there, Boye. We know that there is a player in there who's just a bit wacky, isn't he? And like I said, injured a lot of time because of his stupidity or his rashness, diving into challenges like you mentioned, or making some mad blocks where he's doing like a somersault in the process of doing it. So you know what I mean? He's just crazy player, isn't he? But I kind of love that about him as well. And in the past, obviously, there's been a lot made of the Vardy Boye battles. I mean, you've seen a few. There's that famous clip of Boye where he just like throws his body into Vardy and like flops to the floor. Yeah, they always seem to be an interesting battle, that one, and it could go either way, couldn't it? But I have to say, I think overall, you'd probably say Boye's come out on top in terms of the battles with Vardy. But with Boye not playing regular games, I must be honest, that's something I worry about. Vardy up against the likes of Lindelof and against Boye as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Boye not playing many games, he's not known for being the fittest of players when it comes to injuries. It's just going to be interesting to see. we need him now, so hopefully he can come through when we actually need him. Otherwise, who is next? Is it Phil Jones really, or is he actually injured?
Well, Phil Jones is back, I believe, isn't he? He's back in
Is
training
he?
and whatnot. So I mean, Ollie obviously said that he rates Phil Jones highly, and he's had his
Oh
injury
my
issues and
God.
whatnot. But like I say, Vardy and Boye, that worries me. That does worry me.
That
Alex
is a
says
mean
there,
comment.
Boye will kick himself in the face whilst trying to claim another victim. This one made me laugh. Gaz Elliott says Boye's knees are like
Oh my
Weetabix.
God.
Yeah, I don't know.
But maybe, hopefully he'll come through, because when he's good, he's really good. So yeah, hopefully he'll come through.
I worry. Vardy just scares me anyway. But not having our usual back four, that concerns me.
Yeah,
Obviously we've had an international break and whatnot. We always said let's see how he bounce back after this, but having a major injury like Varane, and look, I know he's only out for a few weeks, but the running games that we've got coming up, this is where we said we really need to kick on now. It's a bit of a kick in the teeth, isn't it, really? And obviously it's growing as well. It isn't even like it's an impact injury, it's a muscular injury, which is the worst kind, isn't it? So yeah. Selection, thank you so much for that super chat. That's really kind of you. Thank you. So no excuses though. Liverpool played United with Phillips and Reece at the back.
that's true. That
It's
is
true.
true.
It's true, and it's like Zeo said, we have got quality players in the background who should be good enough to step in and fill that gap. But not having a run of games, it just worries me. But Shivan says there, Lindelof and Boye is not actually a bad partnership. Look, they're our two backup centre backs. You have to be honest and say that's not a bad backup pairing to have, is it?
No, and if you think about it, last season it was like a half backup, because it was like one of our main centre backs and Bailly. So like, and people wanted Bailly in as well. So do you get what I mean? So technically, it's like there are backups, but last season there was almost our main centre back. So like, they should do well. They should do a job for a month and a half or whatever. They should be able to do that.
Yeah. Do you think if you're Brendan Rodgers, I mean, I've just been on another show talking about Brendan Rodgers, 1 win in 7, the 13th in the league, people saying pressure's kind of building on him a little bit now. Do you think he'll be looking at that and thinking, oh, we can go at United?
Yeah, I would definitely, like, I'd throw the kitchen sink at us. I'd proper go for it. Proper go for it. Try and get the first goal. Nullify our counter attack. And yeah, I think, yeah, that I'd fully go for it. Is Rashford back?
Yes. Well, it could be. It could be. He's back training, so it could be, which would be nice, wouldn't it?
So we'll get at least 2 goals.
You know, if Leicester do come at us, we might concede and whatnot, but that suits us a lot more.
It does.
We've seen like games where like that's why I think Rodgers is obviously very good tactically. He might think we'll sit in and they'll counter. They've got pace on the counter attack. But if they do come at us and do a Leeds and come at us, that would suit us a lot better. We've seen already. Do you really think they'd fall into that trap as such? Like I can't see that happening.
As you were saying that, I was just thinking to myself, yeah, they probably won't. And then you probably want to aim for corners and free kicks then, because that was something that I noticed a lot when Varane wasn't there and stuff. I felt like we was more of a mess on corners and stuff like that. Like last season, there was many corners that it was just like, I don't understand how that ball's got through to this player for him to tap it in and stuff. So maybe they'll go for that type of approach, set pieces and stuff. Maybe.
Yeah. And I think this is a good point from Oliver Villa as well. As you mentioned, obviously the highest form. He's going to be confident in behind Lindelof and Boye. Do you think that should reassure them a bit more as well? Or do you think it's the other way where De Gea's probably not going to be as confident because he's looking in front of him and he's seeing Lindelof and Boye? Like, what do you think? De Gea's been on fire, hasn't he?
De Gea has been on fire. I think De Gea's... I think he's always confident now. I feel like he's just a solid keeper. And like, was it last season in the... was it semi... The semi of the not Champions League, Europa League.
We weren't in Champions League.
Don't bring that back up. He just saved us, like, and I just feel like De Gea is often saving us, and often he's like a brick wall back there. And if we didn't have him, I would hate to see where Man United would be now. So yeah, I think De Gea will give them confidence more so than them giving him confidence. I think he gives himself confidence.
He started the season well, and like I say, he just needs to hold his head up. And like I've already mentioned, I think he's already grabbed us points that we wouldn't have had if it was Henderson in goal, for example, because he has been like an outstanding form. And that's not me knocking Henderson. That's just me saying De Gea's come back after the disappointment of the Europa League final, not playing in the Euros, and he came back earlier from his holiday as well. So he had that determination, and he's obviously thought, you know what, no, I want to keep that number 1 shirt. And to be fair, he's more than earned it so far this season. So yeah, that is a good point. Hopefully, he does give them a bit of confidence at the back.
I don't worry about what Andrew said there. I think Bailly can handle Vardy. I think Bailly can handle him.
Boye can handle him, a fully fit Boye can, but all I worry about is the fact, Boye's one of these players, if he has a dodgy start to a game, then he has a one
that's
game.
it.
He can't turn it around. You know what I mean? And he hasn't played, so that's my worry about it. Like, if he starts and has a dodgy first touch or whatever, or gets an early booking, then we're in trouble. Do you know what I mean? He's one of them, like his head, I don't know, he just loses it in his head. If he doesn't start a game well, you've lost him. He's just one of them players. He's very rare he can turn it around. And Vardy, we all know, is a bit of a nightmare, isn't he? He's like a wasp. You can't shake him off. He's not going to give him any time on the ball. He's constantly going to be on the shoulder. Yeah, they need to bring their A game. But at the same time, if they want to be good enough to break into that 11, what a better chance to do it. Varane's injured, Maguire's injured. They're not going to get another chance. They've got to take their opportunity, haven't they?
Spare time. Donny would kill for that time.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, like I said, Donny will play centre back and Ollie will shut us all up. But international break, obviously, we talked about the negatives, the fact Varane got injured and whatnot. Pogba, Varane, Martial all win a trophy, so congratulations to them, obviously, as well. And Portugal having their own success. Ronaldo scoring, yes, again, it's inevitable, isn't he? He just always scores. The GOAT. And people still doubt him, Zeo. People still doubt him.
Nuts in it. I saw a stat the other day where it was just the only people that could compare him to was clubs, like for goals. It's like this team's this much, this team's, and then Ronaldo was like fourth or something like that.
It's mad.
Like, he's just the best, and Messi can just stay in France.
Yeah. Do you fully expect Ronaldo? I mean, a lot of people say it's a stupid question, but obviously he was dropped against Everton, which baffled me a little bit with the international break coming up after it. I was thinking, why is he not playing against Everton? And I get if it's a rest thing, but he's got the international break coming up. So, yeah, I didn't really understand that too much. But do you think he'll start against Leicester?
Yeah, definitely.
Because Cavani's not going to be available, obviously, because he's Uruguayan, so Brazilian and Uruguayan not going to be playing. So you think Ronaldo does start?
Definitely.
A lot of people think that him coming to United is a negative thing almost because he can be a bit static or whatnot. And my argument back to that is, without his goals this season, where would we be? Already this season,
I know.
Without his goals, where would we be? And for me, he'll have invisible games and whatnot, but he's still got that in him, that special moment where he's got a goal, hasn't he?
And he makes other players accountable as well. I imagine like he's boosting other players. It's not just Bruno shouting at people. He's telling them you need to do better as well. So I think, Ronaldo, he can be static, but all it takes is like 2 moments for that guy for a guaranteed goal. Like 1 moment most of the time, but if not the second moment, it's a guaranteed goal. You get the ball to him, and give him chances. He's going to score. And I feel like we do need someone like that in our team with that mentality and with that ability. So I don't get what people are moaning about. Like it's like a fairy tale story. He's come back. He's scored goals. He's motivating people already. He's shouting at people already. Like what more can you ask for? It's not like he's come back and hasn't scored. Like
True. I'd understand the argument a bit more if that was the case, to be fair. I get that. But yeah, it's a positive, obviously, the fact that we have got Ronaldo in the team and he's almost a cheat code at sometimes, isn't he? Just, like I say, he's got that goal in him. And you think, I mean, someone in the chat, if you can confirm, Evans has been out for Leicester, and I think he's been a big loss for them at the back as well. Obviously, like I said, they're 13th in the league, so defensively they have their own struggles as well. Do you think it's a case for United where we can think, you know what, we can exploit that? You mentioned Rashford could be back, could be on the bench. Obviously, Sancho had a very good game, I thought, against Andorra. And look, I appreciate it's Andorra. And obviously, he needs to do it in the Prem. But he looked positive, he looked direct. I want to see more of that Sancho at United. And maybe this weekend, like I say, against the Leicester side, who you'd say defensively have got their vulnerabilities at the minute. This could be a good game for Sancho, couldn't it, to get into his stride?
Yeah, if he plays.
If he plays, yeah.
Yeah, because it wouldn't surprise me if he isn't picked. Because I feel like...
What would your front three be then? Obviously, like I say, there's no Cavani, so write that one off. But what would you chosen front three be against Leicester?
I think mine, what I pick will be what it is. I think it would be Pogba, Ronaldo, Greenwood. I think it should be. Left, yeah. I think it should be that as well, and I think it should be Matic and I guess McTominay in the middle. Yeah,
I wouldn't be too objective to McTominay and Pogba in there. Obviously, I know there's Ndidi and it's going to be a battle in that midfield.
Yeah.
But you know my motto, I'd rather just see us outscore the opposition. I feel like we'll concede regardless, so let's just score some goals. And I'd like to see a bit more of a versatile midfield. But I wouldn't be, obviously, against Pogba on the left, because I've said many times I like Pogba on the left because he drifts, and I think if he gives the ball away up there, it's not as costly as when he does it just in front of our back four. And with the likes of Vardy and that nipping around him, indeed, he's not going to give him a second in that midfield.
Yeah.
That could be a bit of a worry for Ollie as well.
I think with our defenders out, I think Pogba won't be in the middle. I think Pogba will be higher up the pitch.
Yeah. I think the left, like you mentioned there, that to be fair, I'd say that's where his better performances have been so far this season as well. That's what I think. Alex, thank you so much for that super chat. Said Lindelof and Boy first choice for the countries. True. Should be able to step up, fight for a place. De Gea and Ronaldo are on fire. We'll smash it, guys. Alex, I love your positivity and thank you so much for that contribution. Like I say, really kind. But yeah, he's right. They're both internationals, and like I say, if you're good enough, then you should take your chances at the end of the day. They're not going to get many chances, and we're both centre backs out at the same time. what a better chance for them to. Hello, Tasting Vlogs. Hope you're good. No worries about being late. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're doing well. Sancho did best game of the season against Everton. I agree. Just before the international break, obviously I was at Old Trafford, and I know we spoke about it before, but for me, it's the one game where he actually went at the defender. He actually tried to beat the defender a few times rather than being predictable and trying to play it back. And we've mentioned a few times we'd like to see him on that right hand side so we can drive to the byline and get around the outside, because he always wants to come in on that right hand side. But I do think against Everton he did mix up his game a little bit more. He had one opportunity, to be fair, where he should have done a lot better as well. But I do think it's one of them that the performance will come and then the goals will obviously come as well. I would like to see him against Leicester, but I agree with you. Has he done enough to start yet? I don't know. His cameo was good against Everton though.
Yeah, but I don't think he's done more than the other players that I mentioned. I feel like they're more dependable right now to start against Leicester, especially with the weakened back four. I think we need our best performing players on the pitch, which he's probably one of our better players, but he's not our best performing at the moment.
Yeah. Hastings said there, I think Donny should have a more chance of playing, but what do you think? I would love to see that. I'd love to see McTominay.
He's not playing against Leicester, if that's what we're saying. Definitely not. I don't
look at our running games coming up as well. There's not many really where you'd say, "Oh, we can rotate him." You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Is Ollie going to pleasantly surprise us? If he did put Donny in there with McTominay, though, would you be happy with that midfield? And obviously Bruno just in front
against Leicester.
Yeah, would you be happy with that?
I think so. Yes, I do think so. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'll be. Yeah, and I would think, Donny, you need to please just play well. I'd pray. I would be happy with that, but I would like to see him play more than one game in a row, to be honest. I feel like until that happens, it's all pointless. We expect him to have some superstar game out of nowhere, like playing 1 in 5. Like, it's not going to happen, is it? So until this guy gets to play 2-3 games, like, I think he's just going to end up going because he ain't going to get the run that he needs.
Well, you saw his reaction, obviously on the bench when he didn't come on. Was that against Everton or was it the game before? Was it Champions League? I think it might have been a Champions League game, and obviously he had his little tantrum, he threw his chewing gum down and whatnot. And Ollie obviously came out and said, "Look, I was a sub myself," but we both sat here and said, "Well, yeah, but Ollie got on. Like, he isn't even getting a peep at the minute." But it's one of them, isn't it? Like, if Donny has had enough and he wants out, is Ollie realistically going to think, you know what, I'll give him a chance then if he doesn't see him there long term? Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but if it is true that I'd like to think Donny's professional. He comes across as a professional guy, and it's not that case. But there's a lot of rumours about obviously Newcastle being interested in him now and him going out in January. Like, do you think that there's a possibility that Ollie won't play him then because he's leaving?
I don't think Ollie's like that. I think Ollie will still play him if he wants to play him. That's what it is. And part of me is thinking Ollie doesn't want to play him, so he probably won't play him, if you get what I mean, because he doesn't want to. But I think if Ollie wanted to play him, it wouldn't make a difference that he's leaving. And I think if I was Donny, like, you just want to play football, man. Like, you don't want to watch people like Fred coming on before you when you know you're a good footballer. I saw a post 2 days ago. Someone let me know in the comments if it's true that Donny was not nominated for the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Like, before we came to United.
Ajax had like a mad season, didn't they, as well, to be fair, that season.
And
he was obviously a big part of it.
He definitely was.
I think he was. I don't know if it was young player or what, but he was definitely nominated, and he was one of the talked about prospects, obviously, in the world, and that's why I was so buzzing when we signed him, as many people were.
So imagine that feeling, going from that to being on the bench and watching Fred come on time and time and time before you and getting 10 minutes sometimes, getting an odd game with the second team sometimes. You're just going to think, I'm too young to watch my career flash away like this.
I've got a constant Fred ache. That's what Donny's got, you know. A constant Fred ache. That's what he's suffering with. Oliver Villa said, "Can Matic play at centre back?" Random question. Can he play at centre back? He has a few times, I believe. He has a few times. My worry is always legs with Matic, but he has played at a centre back a few times. So obviously McTominay does it often for Scotland.
McTominay, I was going to say McTominay.
But obviously we mentioned Fred's not there, so you fully expect McTominay to be in that midfield. Obviously, with Fred not being there. But yeah, Matic has played it before, and he can play it. Do I think he will play it? Probably not when we've got the likes of Bailly, Lindelof and Jones obviously in the ranks, but he can do that. Lawbreaker, thank you so much for the super chat. I said, sadly, it seems Donny's done it at United, and it's a real shame because we haven't had a chance to see him. Yeah, and my worry is, and thank you for that, Lawbreaker, it's really kind, but my worry is with Donny is he's going to go elsewhere, and then we're going to see the true Donny.
Smash it, yeah. It, like you said, like a couple shows ago when I was on with you, we need to send him out on loan if we're not going to play him. because I think he will show people on loan why he should be playing for United, and I feel like it's just going to be such a waste. I know that guy's going to be good somewhere. I just know it. You can feel it, can't you? It's
There you go. 2019.
Yeah, horrible. That's horrible. Imagine going from that to sitting on the bench every game watching people like Fred. Like, no.
Yeah, frustrating. Good evening to Daniel. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, he has played centre back before, definitely. And Andrew agrees with you. He said Van der Beek was nominated for the Ballon d'Or back in 2019. So it must be so frustrating for him to sit there and see us struggling with that creativity from the midfield as well. That's the other thing. It's not even like we've been smashing teams and he hasn't earned the right to get a feature. Like, we haven't been playing well.
No.
And in the midfield, it's often cost us. So that's why you're thinking, give him a chance, give him a chance. James there, he's still linked with us, obviously Everton. He was linked with Everton in the summer as well. What will the game plan be? Kick it long to the forwards? Hopefully not. Hopefully not, Wizard. Hopefully that is not the game plan. If Leicester do come at us, like we said, because we're weakened at the back, for me, that makes it a different game. And I actually feel more confident about the Leicester game. But if they're sitting in and they have the low blocking, you'd think Brendan Rodgers would have watched our previous games and we know he's good tactically. He's going to play on that and try and hit us on the counter attack. That's where I worry, because without that CDM in there, we've just really struggled with the turnover. We've struggled to try to nullify those counter attacks. And we've already mentioned the likes of Vardy, Tielemans in the middle, and Ndidi in the middle as well. Like,
I think we're going to see less long ball with Fred not being in there. I think if Matic is in there, we're going to see a lot. Matic is excellent at passing in the ball into the forwards and the midfield players.
Between the lines,
yeah, he's excellent at it. So I think we're going to see a lot less long balls with Fred not in there. I think the players like to skip Fred. So I'm not really worried about that side of things. I do hope we have good tactics, but I'm not really worried about the long ball things because I think we'll see less of it now.
Yeah, hopefully. I agree. I think I expect Matic to start. I think his experience in there as well. The only thing I do worry about is, like I've already mentioned, two of the players in the midfield for them, Tielemans and obviously Ndidi. Like, they've got a very strong midfield, and it's cliche, but the game could be won and lost in that midfield area. And I do think it's going to be a key battle. But at the same time, we all sit here and say McFred isn't our best option, so we need to try something different. We've got no option but to say something different. And like we've already said, with players being out and whatnot, like, this is a chance for certain players to take their chances, and hopefully these players do step up and do take their chances. But with players like Donny not getting the running games, Boy not getting the running games as well, it does worry you, doesn't it? Because you're expecting like a spontaneous, just worldy performance, and obviously that doesn't always happen, does it? But fingers crossed that they can step up. But yeah, in terms of the Leicester game, obviously, like I said, the 13th, but there's no doubt about it, Leicester are still a very, very strong side, and like I say, going forwards in particular, they can definitely hurt us and cause us problems defensively with their injuries and whatnot. They haven't really, I know they made a signing obviously with Vestergaard, but they haven't really replaced Fofana for me. Like, he was a quality centre back, a young centre back, and he's a big miss for them. Johnny Evans has been very underrated in his career. He's been superb for them as well. Like, Leicester defensively, like, we need to just go at them. Like, I want to see a positive United. Obviously, before the international break, everyone was doom and gloom about that point against Everton. It wasn't the end of the world, was it? But let's face it, performances haven't been good enough. We said this international break could be a really good or a really bad thing. I'm hoping that we've rested a few players and we can bounce back and we can really hit the ground running against Leicester, Zeo.
I hope so too. Sorry, I laughed in between what you said. I saw the Lawbreakers comment. It just really made me laugh. Yeah, hopefully.
Bendy like boy. The sequel.
Yeah, hopefully all that you just said about Leicester, the international break hopefully was a good thing. We come back refreshed. We show that we have to step it up now, even though we've got players missing. Yeah, hopefully. And hopefully, Lawbreaker, hopefully, I'm guessing, well, I hope you're wrong. I don't think I think he'll get shouted at by Ronaldo and stuff. So hopefully, nah.
But
Lindelof's got some great passes, yeah.
Boy's the kind of guy who'd try like a Rabona long passer rather than just like a standard long pass. You know what I mean? Lindelof, to be fair, he has got a good passing range on him. And also, and we don't see it a lot, but people forget, like, before he came to United, Lindelof actually scored quite a few free kicks as well. He's actually got like a great shot on him as well. And we haven't really seen that. I'm sure people will be able to back me up in the chat, but he scored quite a few free kicks as well before he came to United. So I remember thinking, we've got a centre back who can take free kicks. A bit like Alex. Remember Alex, who used to play for Chelsea and he scored some proper rockets. I was thinking, I want that Lindelof at United, but we've never really seen it. But I suppose you've got a lot of competition for those free kicks, especially Ronaldo coming in now. Like, I think people are questioning if Lindelof's taken a free kick before Ronaldo and Bruno.
No chance. Not even before Rashford.
And Rashford obviously coming back in as well.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, obviously, with Rashford being out and the fact that we've struggled against his low blocks, do you think Rashford coming in gives us something a bit different? Because he is willing to run in behind, isn't he? And he's direct and will go at players. With his shoulder injury, we didn't see so much of that Rashford. I'm hoping that the Rashford that we all know is in there does come back because we've missed him.
I think Rashford scares teams even when he's not playing to the top of his ability. So I do think we'll see something different anyway. And I think Sancho should have been doing what the prime Rashford was doing, but Sancho isn't confident to do it yet at United. And hopefully Rashford will come back and be that Rashford. So I think we will see something different with Rashford there, because we can have Pogba there. We play well with Pogba there, but Pogba's not trying to take players on type of thing on that left side. So I think Rashford hopefully comes back confident, and I think we will see something different. And even if he isn't coming back confident, I think he scares people when he runs after the ball anyway, type of thing.
Yeah.
So I think people are more tentative against us when Rashford's playing. So yeah, I do think it will be different.
And do you think, so obviously Rashford and Sancho are good friends off camera then, off pitch, they're obviously good friends. Do you think like Rashford coming back as well, that could also be a lift for Sancho, being able to link up with someone like Rashford? Because obviously, like I say, knows him well off the pitch. I'm sure that when he came to United, like when he was in talks to come to United, like Rashford was one of the players that he was thinking, I can't wait to link up with. So do you think him coming back will lift him as well?
I'm gonna hope so. It depends, because why is Thingy been playing on the left all the time? So is that like Ali deciding he's a left player as well, or is he gonna actually put Thingy on the other side when why am I forgetting his name even though he just said Sancho on the other side when Rashford comes back? Do you get what I mean?
It's Greenwood who would miss out then, isn't it?
It is, but so what I don't understand is why. I don't get it. So either he's thinking Greenwood is playing too well, so I can't put Sancho on that side. I don't know. It's confusing to me.
I do think Greenwood has started this season well, to be fair, and obviously started essentially on a forced out with Cavani coming back and Ronaldo coming in. Got forced out on that side. We all know when he cuts in on that left hand side, he's not shy to get a shot away, and he scored a few bangers in the past, Greenwood. So maybe it is because he feels like Greenwood is probably the best option on that right, cutting in on his left, and he doesn't deserve to be dropped because Greenwood has been one of our brighter players. And maybe that's what he's thinking. But like I say, performances haven't been great. Maybe he's kind of prolonging until Rashford is back. And we always said, look, Rashford for me is better on the left. Putting in on the right.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? When he was on the right, he wasn't as effective. So I'm hoping what I would like to see is Rashford on the left, Sancho on the right, and obviously Ronaldo through the middle or Cavani through the middle in some games. That would be my preferred. But I'll be gutted people.
I'll be gutted. But people like Ricky will be absolutely fuming if we have Rashford on the left and Greenwood on the right again. Like people like Ricky, and I kind of agree with him. You don't want two players cutting in and then a striker in the middle. Like it's like we ain't getting no balls in. We ain't going on the outside and crossing no balls in. When we got,
I think what I would say is at least with Greenwood, like we know he can go either way. Like he's so well balanced, and he is good on his right as well as his left. Yeah, of course, typically he wants to come in on his left, but if he needs to, he will go on that right hand side. Though he's not scared to do that.
But he doesn't really do it because he wants to shoot, because he's got that kind of in him.
Yeah.
So we're always cutting in, and then Rashford's always going to cut in. So it's like,
I think ideally he wants to be a 9, doesn't he, Greenwood? Like he wants to play that central position. Like, I mean that's obvious, isn't it? But obviously with like say Ronaldo and Cavani in there, and that's why a lot of people said that is Ronaldo really a good thing coming in, because is he going to be holding back Greenwood? And obviously we've got to look at his development as well. But I mean, look at the options that we've got going forwards. Rashford coming back into it as well. Ollie has got a right headache. I think I kind of agree with this. I think I'd start Greenwood, but I'd also think about bringing Rashford on. Maybe, I don't know, after the hour mark. Someone else said that as well. But I think don't start him straight away. Obviously, he's delicate. He's just come back from his injury. He hasn't been training competitively for long. So we don't want to fling him in too early and then pick up another injury. Do you know what I mean? But I would like to see Rashford get back on the pitch. And like I say, I do think that Sancho and Rashford on the pitch together could be an interesting one. I really do, because they're friends off the pitch. They've also got good chemistry. Just the thought of them doing these little link-ups, these little 1-2s. Because I think Sancho's that kind of player. He wants players who can have little like bounce passes off, and he hasn't really had that at United yet. He saw it so often at Dortmund, but too often he's got the ball and he's looking for a little 1-2, and there's just no options there. You just don't play that way.
I'm not even convinced that Rashford's that player though.
I'm just hoping he can be that player. Do you know what I mean? I'm hoping that him and Sancho can form a relationship. That's what I'm hoping for.
Right.
But at the minute, it just feels like Sancho's coming in. And like I say, gradually he's getting better. I thought against Everton he played well. Against Andorra the other day for England, he played really well. He looked positive. I'm hoping that he'll just find his stride. Like I say, maybe a goal would really help his confidence. But at the minute, it just looks like he's trying to find how to fit into this team. He's looking like find a way of playing. Do you know what I mean?
I think, I do know what you mean. Yeah, I do know what you mean. But I think for the rest of this season, especially up to Christmas, I think Greenwood's still going to keep him out that team. I think if Rashford comes back in and takes his place back, I think Greenwood's keeping Sancho out of that team.
Yeah. For me, it has to go on form.
Yeah.
It has to go on form. If Rashford comes on and has a worldly performance, scores a hat-trick, then for me, he deserves to start the next game. That's how it should be. Like, we want competition for places. Ollie's got to try and keep everyone happy, but the fairest way to do it is based on form.
Form, yeah.
And he needs to rotate. We question his substitutions all the time. It's pointless bringing Rashford on to have an impact in the last 5 minutes. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he needs to give players like a fair amount of time to have an impact on the game as well. And that's where Ollie needs to improve with his substitutions. That's my opinion.
Yeah, he brings on people too late. But yeah, I think when it's based on form, Greenwood's form hasn't scored, but I don't think his form's dropped. I think he's stayed clean on the ball. I think he's set people up. He's gave people chances. He's had shots. He's looked lively. And I think that's more than we can say for what Sancho's done and for what Martial's done, other than Martial's goal. And I think Greenwood's been one of our most reliable players when he's on the ball. So I think he's going to keep most of them out of it, except for Ronaldo and Cavani.
That's to be fair. You mentioned another player there, Martial as well. He started against Everton, got a goal.
Yeah, but
do you think
that's
he's
all he
in
got.
The picture?
No, I don't.
He's in the picture?
I don't.
Don't you think his performance was good enough?
No, I don't. And he's one of my favourite players. I don't. I think his next game's going to be make or break for him with Rashford coming back. Well, if he gets to play, that his next game's make or break. Because I think all he has done since the season started is score a goal. That's all he's done. I haven't seen no link-up play like I'm used to seeing. He's
well, 1-2s. Job, to be fair, score goals.
One, no.
Yeah, no, but I was there, as I say, at Old Trafford, and I did watch Martial quite a lot because obviously he's a player that I really hope turns it around. But he's just on the fringe. I know I say it all the time, but Tony partial because he's just on the fringes of games all the time. He scored a goal and I was absolutely buzzing for him. And like I say, that's his job ultimately to score a goal. And I'm sure Ollie will big him up for scoring that goal. But I was trying to see him get at defenders a little bit more. You know, when he would drive at defender and back him into the box and chopping in to that right, like that's the kind of goal he scored. It was unplayable at times because when he gets moving, like it's hard to stop him unless you bring him down. Like he's one of them players who just seems to glide past players. But we just don't see that enough. And I get that a lot of it's down to confidence. Obviously not playing regular games. I do believe that he's better out on the left than playing that centre forward, and he'll have more chance of featuring out on that left hand side. I agree with that. But like you say, does he really deserve to start over certain players? Like Pogba for me on that left starts over Martial.
Yeah, and yeah, that's what I feel bad for him.
It's a good option to have. It's a good option to have, though.
He is a good option to have, but I feel bad for him because I feel like in other teams you would get a good run and you would get your chance, but at Man United right now, with all the pressure and all the quality players that we've got, that even though some of them ain't performing, I feel like Martial, his next game is so much he's riding on it for him. Yeah. Like it's a career decider for him.
So he didn't play for France, did he, in the international break? I don't think. But obviously for him, he's going to want to break into that France team and be a regular. The age he's at now should be in his prime, really. So he's got to think about his own personal career as well. A lot of people think he could be on the way out. And like you mentioned,
I saw a Newcastle rumour. Newcastle
being linked to everybody.
It's true, actually. It's true.
I'm going to see a tweet one day and Newcastle linked to signing Meg as well.
Yeah, I was going to say you.
Yeah, like literally they've been linked to every man and his dog, like everybody. But obviously it's interesting to see what is going to happen with them. They're fighting relegation. Imagine having an investment like that and then being relegated. Like it can't happen, can it? And I said this just on the show as well. I think that they need to get rid of Steve Bruce firstly, and it's horrible to say that, but I can't see them improving. Like not with the brand of football that they've been playing at Newcastle, not under Steve Bruce. It's just not attractive football. Fans want to be entertained, don't they? And they want to fill that stadium again as well. Tony the Tiger says I'm blue. Very difficult to be optimistic. Midfield and centre backs may cancel themselves out of games. Very worrying. I just hope that our attacking prowess just sees us through. I just hope that we're on it going forward. And like I say, we outscore Leicester. We score a few goals. But yeah, to end it on and get yours in as well in the chat, what's your score predictions, Yo, for that game against Leicester?
We're definitely conceding a goal.
I love the optimism. Yeah, I have, by the way. Have you seen that? 1 billion for Pedri's proposed release clause. 1 billion.
Off topic, have you seen Pedri's proposed release clause? 1 billion?
Yep. Newcastle talks with him.
What the hell?
Honestly, 1 billion. But yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. It feels a bit silly, but I'm gonna go 3-1.
I don't think that's silly. Lawbreaker has gone with you there. Boy, you're scoring at both ends. You know what? Put a bet on that. That's not a bad shout. We've got another 2-2 there from James, a 3-1 from Andrew. I think I'm going to go in between. I'm going to go 2-1. I think it's going to be an edgy game. I think it's going to be very close. I think we might have to ride our luck a little bit. Might need a bit of De Gea help because I do think we'll be under the cosh. But I'm going to say 2-1 to us. And you know what? Yeah, buy a goal from a set piece. I would take that. I would definitely take that. But obviously at the right end, not in his own goal. Mean says 2-1. 3-1 says Rocco. 4-2 says Alex. Another Ronaldo hat trick in there. That would be class.
That would be amazing.
That would be class. I would like to see that definitely. Newcastle are going to sign Maguire with a record-breaking free. You'll see that tweet soon, honestly. 3-2 says Sophie. 3-2 to yeah. Hopefully we just edge it. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be an interesting one. Both defences, I do believe, will concede. I'm just hoping that going forwards, we've just got that extra bit
just
of
get the win, man. Just get the win.
Exactly.
Whatever it takes. Yeah, whatever it takes. Just get that win.
I don't care if Phil Jones comes on as a sub and scores with his arse. I don't care. Just get that win. Let's just take it. Yeah. But guys, thank you so much for joining us. Zeo, just shout out where people can find you and obviously talk about your taking name shows that you're doing as well at the minute.
Zeo Leonardo, check my YouTube and you'll find that I'm doing taking names where I shout people out in songs and make a song live. Thanks for having me on the show again. Always enjoying having them on. Being on. Make sure you subscribe and blah blah. And it's late. I'm tired.
I feel yeah, but yeah, guys, make sure you go and check out Zeo. Those taking names are honestly really good shows. I'd recommend it to anybody who's interested in music and just watch out as Zeo does it like magician at work. It's class. But yeah, if you haven't already, please hit the sub button on Ladies in Red. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Like I say, regular content is coming back this week. I know I've been away for a little bit, being ill and whatnot, but I am back. There will be more content this week. Just look out for my Twitter and my Instagram, and I'll always post it before I do a video. But yeah, guys, if you don't follow me already on Twitter and Instagram, it's Soph Richo on Twitter, Soph Richo with a kiss on Instagram. So come and give me a follow over there as well. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll see you soon. Keep smiling. United are back on this weekend. Let's go.